Hello, this is Mr. Chabry, and I've got another battle for you. So this is another battle against Mr. Blackboy. His in-game name is Rex. I'm bringing a team that's pretty interesting. I've got the Mega Caesar. I do have the Xurkitree on this team as well, and Tangrowth. So I'm actually leading off with my Greninja because I think that's the safest thing to lead off with, as my opponent actually leads with the Excadrill. So right off the bat, I'm hoping that the Water Shuriken will be enough to take out this Excadrill, because I don't know if this thing could have the Focus Sash. I just want to have something to take it out, and unfortunately it ends up having more special defense bulk than I thought it would. So it actually eats up this Water Shuriken. We only hit 3 times, but unfortunately we don't take it out. I was hoping to take it out before it got Stealth Rocks up, but unfortunately we have Stealth Rocks on our side of the field now. So now my opponent's going to bring out the Electrode, and I know Electrode is a pretty fast Pokemon, and I'm kind of nervous. I don't want it to outspeed my Greninja, so we're going to go ahead, do the Water Shuriken again. That was aimed towards the Excadrill, but I'd like to get some damage on this Electrode. So now I'm not going to stay in with my Greninja on this thing, so I'm going to bring in my Tangrowth. This thing should be able to take anything this thing wants to go for, as the Electrode ends up going for the Volt Switch. So now we're going to watch this Electrode swap out. It ends up being Life Orb, so that's actually good to know too. So now my opponent's actually going to bring out the Vileplume. I know Vileplume is a pretty bulky Pokemon, plus it does have Poison type moves, and I don't really want Tangrowth to take unnecessary Poison type damage. I don't want it to get toxic either, so I'm actually going to bring in my Caesar. And if this thing does want to go for a Poison type move, it won't affect Caesar. So actually I do predict that pretty well, and my opponent's now going to swap out, bring out the Excadrill, and I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. There's not much reason not to Mega Evolve. Mega Caesar is a pretty nice Pokemon. It's actually my favorite Mega. So if you watch my top 5 favorite Megas, you know that this one is on top of the list. So here, I'm just going to U-turn. It's the pretty safe play here. That way I can bring something in to threaten this Excadrill, and I get to keep my Caesar. So now Greninja is going to hop on out, and I'm pretty sure Greninja can get a kill here. So instead of going for the Water Shuriken, however, I'm just going to go Hydro Pump, knowing that I will be able to finish off this Excadrill with a Hydro Pump. It might have been a risk because Hydro Pump can miss, but I just wanted to get rid of the Excadrill, and that way my Greninja will become Ash Greninja. So Greninja's in a really good position here. It is in Ash Greninja form, and that means it does have really high special attack, really high speed, and now my opponent's actually going to bring out the Electrode once again. And yeah, I don't want Greninja to take any unnecessary damage. I'm sure a Hydro Pump would finish this off, but I don't want to risk anything. I'm not sure if Ash Greninja outspeeds Electrode too, because Electrode's a really fast Pokemon. So here, I'm just going to go into Tangrowth, as my opponent ends up going for the Signal Beam. That ends up being a pretty middle line move there, because it takes care of the Tangrowth, plus it takes care of the Ash Greninja too. So yeah, my Tangrowth is going to take 2 of those, but my Tangrowth is alright. It does have the Regenerator ability, so if I swap it out, it does get health back. So here, I just go for the Earthquake. I want to get rid of this thing, so I'm not worried about this thing outspeeding my team. So now, there goes the Electrode, and we're in a good position again. So, unfortunately, my opponent's going to bring up the Sharpedo, and this thing is scary. This thing is very scary. I'm pretty sure this is his Mega as well. Here I'm going to bring in my Caesar. That thing can take an Ice Fang, plus I can hit it back with a U-turn, maybe even a Bullet Punch if I need to. And yes, the Ice Fang hits my Caesar, but unfortunately, we get frozen. So I'm kind of scared here. This thing has the Speed Boost ability. It's going to just get some speed up on me, and unfortunately, there's not much I can do here to stop it. So here, I'm kind of in a bad position. This thing is getting a lot of speed boost. I'm pretty sure it can outspeed everything on my team now. So what I'm hoping is that my Caesar can thaw out and hit this thing, but unfortunately it doesn't. The freeze is just really harsh on us, and the Sharpedo has a lot of speed boost here. So now I'm going to go Xurkitree. Living a Waterfall is really my best hope on this now. But actually my opponent doesn't realize, he told me after the battle that he didn't realize that if you swap out a Pokemon after it's gained stats, the stats get reset. So him swapping out there actually helped my chances here, because he could have probably swept my entire team with that Sharpedo now, with all of those speed boosts. But luckily for us, he swaps out. We don't have to worry about that now. And I just go for Thunderbolt. He swaps into the Vileplume. Here, I'm going to bring in Galvantula. It's a pretty safe play. I'm actually just sacking this thing off, but he ends up going for the Giga Drain. So that's pretty nice. I can hit this thing before it takes out my Galvantula. And if he swaps, I can hit that as well. So Galvantula is actually a pretty decent Pokemon to bring in here. I was actually just sacking it off. And before I sack it off, though, I would like to get some Sticky Webs. The main reason is because that Sharpedo almost swept my team there. And I need to have something to take care of that. So I just sack off my Galvantula to get Sticky Webs. That's nice. I can bring in my Salamence. I'm pretty sure there's not much the thing can do to my Salamence. So here, I'm just going to get a Dragon Dance. That way, I'm pretty sure I can outspeed the Sharpedo if I need to. And Salamence is at +1 speed, +1 attack. And this thing's going to hit me with a Sludge Bomb. I'm hoping I don't get poisoned. And we don't get poisoned. So we're in a good position here. +1 attack, +1 speed. I can hit this thing with the Supersonic Sky Strike. And that will finish off this Vileplume. There's no way Vileplume is living the Supersonic Sky Strike. This emits dragon flying into the air, soaring through the sky, and then plummeting right into the flower's face. So yeah, this is going to completely devastate this Vileplume. Plus, this Salamence has the Moxie ability, so it's going to get a nice attack boost with this as well. So I'm pretty sure I'm in a really good position now, and my opponent's actually going to bring in the Tapu Lele. So I'm kind of nervous about this thing. If it's Scarfed, it's going to hit my Salamence pretty hard, because I think Scarfed Lele still outspeeds Salamence. It's going to get the Psychic Surge, however, and that's going to help me if my opponent does have some priority moves. And I just go for the Iron Tail. My Salamence outspeeds this thing. Luckily, it does not have the Scarf. And that will finish off the Lele. So now I'm at +3 attack, +1 speed, and my opponent's going to bring out the Dragonite. I know most Dragonites have multi-scale plus weakness policy, so instead of going for the Outrage here, I'm just going to Iron Tail, and that will give the defense drop as well. But that's not going to matter because that is a 2-hit KO. He goes for Dragon Dance, but it's not going to matter at all because, yeah, the Salamence still outspeeds the Dragonite. Dragonite's not the fastest dragon Pokemon. So, yeah, the Dragonite goes down to another Iron Tail. The reason here I went for Iron Tail instead of Outrage is because I know his Sharpedo might have Protect, because I know a lot of Sharpedos do have Protect, and I don't want my Salamence to end up being confused on this big threat. So now I can safely go for Outrage here. If he does Protect, then that's not going to really matter because I can just hit Outrage the next turn. And I just go for the Outrage. He Mega Evolves his Sharpedo here, which isn't really going to do much in the line of it surviving this Outrage. And Salamence gives us the victory. So things looked really harsh there. That Sharpedo was boosting up its speed, but luckily for us, he swaps out and we can finish the game with our Salamence. So if you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next battle video.